Clap, sync.
Ooh.
Clap, sync.
Clap sync.
Clap now, sync. Do it, sync.
I can't do it.
Then you don't deserve to be in this house.
No.
You don't deserve to be in this house.
No.
Leave and never come back, sync.
What if I turn into a kind of cookie?
Can you clap?
No.
Then get out of my house.
No.
There was hope.
I just come here for the tea every week.
Get it? Because, like, kitchen sink cookies.
Yeah, you get it?
What?
You've never heard of kitchen sink cookies?
No?
It's everything but the
Everything
kitchen
but
sink.
the kitchen sink. Like you put cheese and garlic in your cookie.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Some paprika.
Luke, can you
Paprika.
put the future Luke? Can you put this before Aaron's intro? This is great.
Sure.
All right, now time for the intro.
Welcome to Nuclear Popcorn. The rules of the game are simple. The host will show the players the last 5 minutes of a movie they haven't seen. The players will have a week to formulate a pitch of what they think the plot is. The closest gets meaningless points, maybe a crisp high five. Probably a smooch on the forehead because they're a good boy. Or girl. The host will then reveal what the actual plot was. And that's it. You'll get it. You're smart. And your host for the week is...
Hey, what's going on, friends? My name is Ben.
Why do you sound like Beetlejuice?
Hey, what's going on, Ben? My name is Michael Keaton.
I'm Michael Keaton.
Ben is your host for the week, and I'm joined here with...
Hi, I'm Luke.
Hi, I'm the woman. I'm Hannah. Hi.
Oh, thank you for distinguishing.
Yeah, I kind of,
we've
I
never-
kind
the
of felt
woman.
the need. I feel like it wasn't clear.
We've never distinguished that before.
We
that
really
Never.
haven't.
You
I'm
know,
also,
the woman
I'm
and
also
Ben handled
dad.
this time.
Simultaneously dad.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive.
No, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Who
right.
are you, stranger?
I'm glad you all understand.
I'm the stranger.
Oh,
I've come to steal your coats and your hangers.
August.
I'm August. I like the idea of someone breaking into my house just to steal my coat hangers.
dude, a common threat that I would use was that I was going to break into your house and steal all your left socks only.
Oh, that's
Like a gremlin.
If I wanted to get, like, my little cousin's attention, I'd be like, yo, I'm going to break into your house and steal your left socks.
They'd be like, no.
That kid grew up with trauma.
Yep.
Swap their
Unrelated
shoes.
to Luke. Unrelated
Oh,
to
okay.
Luke.
Swap the
Sorry,
shoes
buddy.
with an identical pair of shoes, but a different size.
Devious.
That's a good one.
Absolutely devious.
That's like a gnome trick.
Like a half
Or some
size
sort
off.
of hobgoblin
Like, man,
thing.
It would
nice
be a
shrink.
gnome trick
It would be a gnome trick.
for me, knowing me.
Bro. Yeah, what has everybody been up to aside from stealing socks and replacing shoes?
That's about it. No. Just work and living. I don't know if I watched any movies this week.
We watched La La Land.
We did rewatch La La Land.
That was my
I'm-
only the second time I've ever seen it.
Really?
Oh, dang.
Yeah, much better than I remember.
I've seen it approximately 1 billion kajillion times.
Approximately.
That's not enough.
That's not enough.
Plus
I
or
am
minus a million.
I'm reminded La La Land is one of my favorite movies of all time, and every time I watch it, I'm reminded why it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It was in my top 4 on Letterboxd, and then it went to my top 5, which contains 11 movies. And then I just took it out of
Right.
the list because I was like, I remember it being good. It just hasn't stuck with me that much. But now, after rewatching it, it's going back into my top 5, 11.
Well, good. I'm glad.
Because it's like, it's so good.
You had an interesting way of putting it as juxtaposed to Babylon, because
Baby.
you have, at least this week, told Ben and I that you're kind of losing interest in Babylon the more you think about it.
Yeah, like both of you, the more you think about it, the better it gets. For me, the more I think about it, the less I like
The less
it.
it gets.
Not the worse it gets, the less I like it.
That's fair.
It's still a great movie.
And you
I
mentioned the subtlety that La La Land has, that Babylon is just kind of balls to the wall, like,
yeah, and I feel
crazy.
like Babylon does have subtlety, but like the way that some of the characters, like their storylines ended, for me, it took all the subtlety out of the movie. Like to me, like La La Land is beautiful in its subtlety. Like that end scene when they just look at each other, that's all subtlety and subtext, and they don't throw anything in your face there. It's just like
and you're still at the like the emotional high of the finale of La La Land.
Right.
And just the nod tells you everything you need to know.
Exactly. And I just feel like Babylon didn't have...
No, that's
It
fair.
still had it, just not nearly as much, and they were too obvious with a lot of things. But that's my humble opinion. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I
So
don't
that's
either.
okay.
I still haven't seen it.
That's why
I've been unironically playing a lot of Wizard 101.
Hey, it'd be like that.
Lot of
Oh, yeah.
Wizard 101.
dude, that's
I saw
amazing.
Strange World, and that was all I saw.
How was
Yeah,
was
wait,
the-
what did you think of Strange World?
I thought I wish they'd done a little more marketing
Yeah.
for it.
Same.
There was, I wonder why there was no marketing for that movie. Love the representation. Didn't love the story. I didn't think it was weird enough. I kind of guessed parts of it where I was like, okay, like, you know, but overall I wasn't that mad at it. Like, it's a casual watch for
Yeah.
me. I'm not mad at it.
It's daytime film going.
Yeah.
I just remember all the
Yeah.
interviews where Jake Gyllenhaal forgot that this was his second movie with Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, you played my
yeah,
dad in
we
that
played
one."
the day after tomorrow,
He's
yeah.
like, "Yeah, this is the second time I played your dad, Jake." That's all I know about that movie.
It's actually disturbing to me how long it's been since I've been to a theater.
Yeah,
I
I'm going through
just
withdrawal.
haven't had time.
I mean, it has been like a week and a half, and I'm going through withdrawal. So like,
I think we have plans maybe this week
but
to
yeah,
go.
we plan to go see Skinamarink.
Oh,
Something freaky.
I want to go see The Whale.
Yeah, still haven't seen The Whale.
Yeah, I really want to see The Whale.
I heard Frasier's great in it,
The whale will
but
shake
I
and
heard
rattle
everyone
your
else
bones.
is.
For some reason, you said Frasier,
And you first
all
thought it was the show
I thought
Frasier?
of the show Frasier, not Brendan Fraser.
That makes that movie
It made
very
me
different.
so confused for half a second.
Baby, I hear the blues are calling.
I'm so sorry, Brendan. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Well, I
hear
couldn't.
this.
I
I'm
couldn't
so
call
sorry.
him. I couldn't call him Brendan.
He sounded like a Brendan.
I mean, in the context, we knew who you would be talking about.
Except me, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Backtracking a little bit to Babylon. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, this feels like
A movie.
a student film.
Oh, hi,
like
Harry
a
Styles.
film student's dream movie to make, where
Yeah.
it's super about cinema and super about themselves as a creator.
Right.
And so a lot of people took it as like, oh, this is Damien Chazelle at his most pretentious, at his most self-centered, and serving his own.
I wouldn't say that though.
And I feel like I can kind of see that, but doesn't he get to? and doesn't he kind of like have the acclaim? Because he said all that I'm basing this theory on is that he said in some kind of interview or maybe in a featurette that he's been working on this movie for 15 years, which is like half of his lifespan.
Right.
And so I feel like he thought of this and was like, I want to make Magnolia, but for Hollywood.
And I could agree with that if it wasn't also so critical of the movie industry. Like if it wasn't critical at all, I could definitely agree. Oh, it's self-serving. It's look how important Hollywood is, but it's not. That's not
Oh,
what that
no,
movie.
not Hollywood, but that
him.
people think that, yeah, it's self-serving to himself.
Oh, I don't see that at all.
Everything you said about Babylon, minus a lot of the self-serving, is how I felt about The Fabelmans.
I was about
Yeah.
to make
that.
that comparison between.
Did you see The Fabelmans yet?
Yeah, I
you
watched
did?
it with
Okay.
my dad over Christmas. I really liked it. I've come to find out I just like movies.
Really?
I tend to find something I like in most movies that I watch. But I think Babylon is the extreme of kind of self-centered storytelling in a sense, in terms of the love of cinema and what it takes and how many people it takes to, make a film. Whereas The Fabelmans was a little more subtle and very, very personal. I think that's the two ends of the spectrum, but still kind of the directors being like, hey, I'm going to make the movie I've wanted to make for years. It's kind of selfishly wanted to make for years. But I think they both served the stories well in their own right. So I'm a fan of both.
Yeah, and what's funny is, Ben, you mentioned that student film aspect. While watching La La Land, my thought was, this guy's making the best student films. Like, these are like the movies that every student wants to make, but they're done beautifully. Like Whiplash, that's just a student. Like, that is literally a
Right,
short
it's
student
literally-
film.
So good,
A
though.
film
But it's so
about
good.
Yeah.
a student and a teacher.
Right, and it's just, and he just does it really, really well.
I think it goes back to the theory of write what you know. And Damien Chazelle is obviously a Hollywood nerd. And so if he's been, researching and been interested in this topic for 15 years, of course he's going to make a movie like Babylon.
Right.
So I'm a fan. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Well, great to catch up with everybody. I guess I'll introduce the film for this week. What we watched the last 5 minutes of, It's Such a Beautiful Day.
It's Such a Beautiful
is the
Day.
film that we watched the last 5 minutes of last week and then rewatched before this episode is recorded. So if we'd like to just go back into our memories and unlock what happened in the last 5 minutes and give you guys a little mental image of what happened.
It's beautiful.
It is such a beautiful movie.
It's
gorgeous.
It's main character's Bill,
Yeah.
and he is a super simple black outline, white filled cartoon character.
Kind of a stick drawing.
Kind of a stick
Kind
drawing,
of.
but he's got a body to him.
He's got a
little guy.
sick hat.
He's got a sick hat on. But all the backgrounds are photos.
Like photorealistic.
Yeah,
Right.
but like just
Yeah.
actual
Actual photos,
photos.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're colorful.
Right.
Very
Yeah,
colorful.
yeah.
We
They're
open
not
on
black and white.
Bill in the forest,
He's standing in front of a tree.
standing in front of a tree, and then it close up on some grass. We see Bill lie down under the tree, look up at like the sunlight hitting the tree, and we just hear, I assume, Bill's voice say,
Either Bill or a narrator. One of the two.
one of the two, just say the title of the movie, It's Such a Beautiful Day. And then it cuts to black. And all of these voices overlap saying, wait, he can't die here. Get up, Bill. He can't die here. And it's just constant overlap of...
Voices saying, he can't die. Get up. He can't die.
And they keep calling his name too after they say that. Like, Bill, are you there?
Bill.
Like,
Bill.
yeah.
Yeah, and then it hard cuts to Bill climbing a mountain, and the narrator of the story is saying Bill will go on to learn every language, learn everything there is to know about the universe, and essentially tell us that Bill is immortal.
Right. And it goes, he's immortal.
Basically, up until the ending of the movie, it's just reiterating the point that Bill is going to continue on. He's going to live his life until there is no more, until the lights fade.
Present and past loves and like meeting
Yep.
the next generation.
He goes
the
through
next
like
species.
countless
And, like,
loves. And then
towards the end of AI, where it's like we see these like time moves on essentially.
Yeah.
and then he meets the next inhabitants of the earth who are like light beings, and then they die.
They revere him as a god, they
Yeah.
said.
And then they die, and then the world dies, and then he drifts off into space for billions of years until he forgets his name and
Till all he can see are the stars. Whether
And then even they die out.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
and that's the end.
it's a very sad and very beautiful last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful day.
It's such a beautiful day.
I love this movie.
I'm so excited
I'm
to
so
watch
glad.
it.
Yeah. So for our listeners, we're gonna shake up the format. Not the format, but instead of me explaining the movie, I'd like all of them to watch it firsthand without me spoiling anything that happens in it. So we're gonna run through the pitches and watch the movie. We'll pause, watch the movie, and then we'll recap after we watch it and explain how we felt about it.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, what's the movie available on, Ben?
It's available to rent on Vimeo.
Vimeo.
It's pretty hard to find otherwise, just because it's such a niche animated movie.
Right.
Like, yeah, it was available on Prime for a time, and then they removed it. And so Vimeo's the way to go if you want to find it.
Vimeo.
And purchase it. So before we get into our first pitch of the episode, let's play a little game.
A little game.
Copyright.
Is this guessing game or not guessing
This is
game?
not guessing game.
Oh.
Not
This is
trademarked.
not
This is a
putting
new kind of game.
Oh,
and
boy.
this new game I like to call, that was a How the Grinch Stole Christmas reference. I like to call Ensemble Exam. So pretty much like we did last time, there will be different rounds in between each pitch, with several movies applying to each round. And so the way that Ensemble Exam works is I'm going to name 6 cast members.
Okay.
Each round has 6 movies. I'll start off there. Each round has 6 different movies.
Okay.
And for each of those movies, I'll be giving you 6 of the cast members. They may or may not be in top billed order, so it's in your best interest to listen to
All 6.
all 6 before you raise your hand to guess.
Okay, so we're trying to guess the movie based off the cast.
Based
Yes.
off of the cast
Interesting.
instead of the director of the movie.
And
like we were last
are
time.
we competing against each other again or collectively?
Competing against each other. So this first round, it will be +1 for every correct answer and -2 for every incorrect answer.
Right, and we are going to...
I'm gonna be in the negatives again.
Yeah, this ain't gonna be good.
We're going to
It's-
chime in with
It's going to be
any
interesting.
onomatopoeia
I tried
that
to
starts
get a
with
little
B.
clever, so you'll kind of see what I mean. Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
like for example, just so everybody's in the know.
Bong,
Let's
Ocean's
say
11.
I start right. It's like I'll say like Hugh Jackman, Kate Winslet, and if somebody goes Bing, and then I go yeah, and then you go like flushed away, and then I say that's incorrect. That's -2, and then I'll keep listing names until they say another movie that they like, movie 43 or whatever they've been in
Oh, gosh.
together with the rest
Yeah.
of the other.
Don't
Okay.
do movie 43.
Cool. Is
But
everybody
we,
like in the
we
clear?
can chime in at any point during the listing of the cast members.
Right.
But
at
we
any
have
point.
to bing in with an onomatopoeia that starts with the letter B.
Of course.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Cool. So let's begin with round 1. 6 movies, 6 cast members per movie. Everybody ready?
I'm gonna suck
Yes.
at this.
Excellent. Okay. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Berenger, Tallulah Riley, Lucas Haas, Tom Hardy, Elliot Page.
Bing.
Bing. Dang.
Inception.
Inception. That is correct. That's +1 for Luke.
Go,
Wait,
Luke.
Lucas who?
Lucas Haas.
Who does he play?
He was the architect that got thrown. That got dragged out
You
of the
said Lucas
helicopter.
Haas. My first thought was Lucas Hedges. And I was like,
Oh.
what movie is he in?
Also in Babylon.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that just goes to show I might not list the top build like Leonardo DiCaprio or
Immediately.
Michael Caine.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Tom
Yeah.
Hardy and Elliot Page at the very end.
Right. So Luke has 1 point. Moving on. Owen Wilson, Bill Murray, Willem Dafoe, Jeff Goldblum, Angelica Houston.
Bong.
Yeah,
Is it Grand Budapest?
it is not. It's -2 for August.
-2, sorry.
And Kate Blanchett.
Oh.
Can you repeat the names?
Yeah, Owen Wilson,
one?
Bill Murray, Willem Dafoe, Jeff Goldblum, Angelica Houston, and Kate Blanchett.
I mean, there's a
Angelica Houston.
few.
But
I-
there's only
it's-
one with these 6 people.
Oh.
That's the hard part.
I would have guessed one, but then you said Kate Blanchett, and now I'm like, I can't remember if she's in this one or not.
I can't remember if it's the one I'm thinking of.
I already guessed.
Wait, can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah, Owen Wilson, Bill Murray, Willem Dafoe, Jeff Goldblum, Angelica Houston, Kate Blanchett.
Bong. French Dispatch.
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh.
Is it okay? Bing, Life Aquatic.
Yes.
Oh,
I
That's
was,
a Hannah.
I was gonna say Royal Tenenbaums, and then you said Kate Blanchett, and I was like,
Yeah.
that changed. I don't think she's in that one.
And I don't think Willem Dafoe and Jeff Goldblum were in.
No,
Royal
they
Tenenbaums.
weren't. Yeah,
Gotcha.
they're in so many of them though.
Yeah.
It's hard to. Yeah.
Okay, number 3. David Weatherly, Viggo Mortensen, Orlando Bloom, Elijah Wood.
Bong.
Yes,
Is it?
Oh.
Is it Two Towers?
it's not.
Oh.
It's -2 for August. Yes,
Return of the King.
it is not.
Oh, no!
-2.
Is it Fellowship?
Yes, it is.
I thought you were trying to trick us.
Yeah, I figured
evil.
because Two Towers is my favorite, so I figured whoever was guessing would guess that first.
See, Fellowship's my favorite, so
The last
that's
one was
all
Sean
I had to go
Astin.
with.
Love
Return of
Sean
the King
Astin.
is my favorite.
There we go. Y'all
I like
there.
the Hobbit movies.
Oh my god, get out.
Well,
Can
okay,
we,
I like the first two. I don't like the third.
No, because the third one didn't happen in the book.
We don't need to talk about the third.
There was a big page break. That
There's a third?
There was a third Hobbit movie.
okay.
Yeah, but
Battle of the
no.
5 Hour.
Oh,
Oh,
there is.
no. Okay, no, we didn't hear. We didn't. Yeah.
It didn't
Number
happen.
4.
Hold on. I actually
Yeah.
like Return of the King the best.
Okay.
Just for the record.
For the record, I don't like the Hobbit movies.
Okay. Number 4. Ian McKellen, Andy Serkis, Bill Nye, Kate Winslet, Jean Reno, Hugh Jackman.
Bill Nye?
Kate Winslet.
Bong. Mank?
No,
Can you?
Oh, that would have been a dang good guess.
that's a good one.
I just thought of
It's
what
got
is
some-
Bill
How
Nye
is
been
Bill
in?
Nye in?
Oh, not Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah.
Bill Nye, like the guy who played
Wait,
Davy
Nye?
Jones.
Oh.
Bill Nye.
Oh! Okay.
Can you say the list again?
Yeah, say the list
Ian
again.
McKellen, Andy Serkis, Bill Nye, Kate Winslet, Sean Reno, and Hugh Jackman.
Who's Sean Reno?
He was Leon the Professional.
Okay, hold on, give me a minute.
I'll read it in the order of top build. If that helps.
Okay.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman, Kate Winslet,
Yeah.
Ian McKellen, Andy Serkis, Sean Reno, Bill Nye, I believe is the order.
I'm trying to think of what movie Kate Winslet and Hugh Jackman were in together.
And I'm assuming it's not Flushed Away.
I already guessed. I can't.
Oh my gosh. Bill.
It's not Australia because Australia is Nicole.
Right. I'm not guessing on this one.
I can't think of what it would be.
Yeah, I'm skipping.
Everybody out? Everybody skipping?
I'm gonna skip.
Flushed Away.
Oh.
Wait,
That's cheese.
them?
Yeah.
That's
Are you
cheese.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Andy Serkis isn't Flushed Away.
I would never would have guessed that.
He
Oh my God,
mocaps all the
Flushed
mice.
He said, "Well, it's not flushed away."
I assumed because he said it earlier.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. I was metagaming. Maybe I
I'm
planted
sorry.
that. Because I feel like you haven't seen Flushed Away, right?
No.
And so that was me planting it. I was
Probably haven't seen
incepting
it
you.
since I was like 5,
Yeah.
6.
Number 5, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia, Vincent
Bong.
Cassell. Yeah,
What was the one you just said?
Vincent Cassell.
Is it Ocean's 12?
No. And Al Pacino.
No! I need one more!
Bong, Ocean's 11.
No!
What?
Al Pacino was in Ocean's 11?
No.
No.
What?
I sadly don't think I know the answer to this.
There's one more. There's one more.
Are you serious?
It's not Ocean's 12 or Ocean's 11.
I don't know if I've seen this.
Don't have to have seen it.
It's not Ocean's 12 or Ocean's 11. That's all I'll say.
Is it?
It's not Ocean's 8.
No, that's good. Sorry, I should have included that.
Okay, was there an Ocean 13?
Yes, there was.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
In the form of a bing bong.
Oh, Bing, Ocean's 13.
Very good.
Am I right?
Yes. If I waited,
I didn't even
you said
know.
the French guy, and I was like, oh, it's Ocean's 12.
No, right, but Al Pacino's the differentiator.
Because he's in both of them.
Yeah.
It's the way I was like,
Crap.
does that exist?
Okay,
Does
here we
that
go.
actually
This one's,
It's my
this
favorite
one's gonna
of the
be.
three.
This one's gonna be. You're gonna want to wait. I'll tell you that. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans,
Oh,
Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, and Ken Jeong.
Oh.
Bong. Is it Civil War?
No.
What?
No.
Ken Jeong's not in Civil War?
No. Oh, shoot.
Danny Pudi was in Civil War.
Yeah.
Yep.
Danny
That
Pudi was in
I
Civil
got
War.
them confused because of Community stuff. Dang it!
Yvette Nicole Brown was also in this movie.
Who?
Yvette
Nicole Brown.
from Community.
Also from
Shirley.
Community.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of which one it is, and I can't place it.
I see like every other Marvel film at best, so
Ken Jeong?
it's
This was the big one.
okay. I'm just gonna guess Bing Endgame.
Yeah, Avengers.
Oh my
Endgame.
god!
Wow.
Ken Jeong was in
I'm
that?
surprisingly not
Who do you
doing
play in Endgame?
horribly.
He was that security guard, you know, when Ant-Man was released by the rat. He was the security guard that
Oh,
got him
yeah.
out of the place.
He played the van.
He was the van. Sweet. So would you like to hear the scores or should
Not
we
really.
hold
No.
off? Okay, we'll hold off until towards the
I think
end.
you're winning.
I
Points?
actually think I am for
Yeah.
once in my life.
Points will escalate round to round. Just so you guys know.
Escalade.
Escalate.
Emphasis.
Okay, that concludes round 1 of this
Round
exciting
1.
game. Points galore.
Points. Round 1. Points
I
galore.
adjusted the scoring for the next 2 rounds, so we're good. Okay, our first pitch of the episode is
Is it me? Oh, hi.
Is it?
Luke.
Is it? Wait.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I lose track of everything.
I'm
all the
last,
time.
aren't I?
Yeah, because
Yes.
you
Yeah.
hosted last week.
Oh, I guess it is me.
Yeah.
I don't remember half of what happens in my life.
I don't either. Cool. I guess I'll go first. Y'all want to get sad?
Yeah.
Sad.
Bro, I'm always sad. Hit me with it.
Same. Let's go. So, Bill's life is the visual representation of the journey of overcoming self-doubt.
Aw.
Throughout the film, we see Bill in a series of memories from his childhood, adolescence, and early adulthood. Bill has had a pretty typical upbringing. He had loving parents, went to a great school, and had plenty of friends. However, we see through everyday actions, Bill slowly begins to doubt himself. It's the way kids at school would jokingly call him names. It's the way his parents would passive-aggressively correct him. It's his prom date rejecting him. It's him changing his major 3 times at college. What if I'm not good enough to get the job? What if everyone else around me has been faking? And am I an authentic person? What would people say about me if I left forever? Is anything meaningful? What about my relationships? What is the meaning of it all? All these normal, everyday thoughts and occurrences only weigh on Bill more. We see this clearly through the weather. It's a beautiful, bright spring day when Bill is born. However, when an intrusive thought enters his mind, a dark cloud surrounds him until he can However, when an intrusive thought enters his mind, a dark cloud surrounds him until he is able to think clearly again. One day, Bill decides enough is enough. He quits his job, breaks off his relationships with loved ones, family, and anyone he's ever cared about. They don't mean it. They never meant it. An exhausted Bill climbs to the top of a hill, lays down in the grass to clear his head. This is where the last 5 minutes plays. Bill simply looks in the sky and makes an observation that it is impossible to overthink or deny. It's such a beautiful day. Bill falls into a coma after a wild mongoose named Ricky knocks an apple off the tree and falls on his head. When Bill comes to, the voices he hears are his loved ones rushing to his side, where they were all along. He can't die. He can't be dead. Bill, wake up. Bill realizes that the cloud that he imagined in his head only blinded him to their true presence. Bill is then filled with hope that there is more. There are more people than he ever realized cared about him. There is more art to see, more things to experience, more people to meet. This simple realization would allow Bill to continue to exist forever, finding new loved ones and simply exist in the ether, simply holding on to the fact that there is more. As cheesy as it sounds, if you're still breathing, you're not done. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Oh,
That was sweet.
jeez. Tearing up.
Yeah.
I love the weather. Using
Me
the
too.
beautiful day to like
It's such a beautiful day.
Such a beautiful
pulling
day.
back out.
Thank you, buddy.
Really good.
I loved it.
Pretty simple, but it's also not my best work. But it's
Stop
I
it.
think that's
Can we-
really funny that
Luke,
you just
that's
said that.
self-doubt.
That's
just self-doubt.
That's what your story's
Bill,
about. I think it's really funny that
Inception.
before we started recording, you were like, I think my pitch is cheesy, and then I put a joke in it, but it's not really that funny. And then that was a beautiful pitch with a really funny joke in it.
oh wait.
Stop it.
Collaborate
Thank you.
and listen.
But yeah, that's it. That's my pitch.
I like it.
I really did like it.
Thank you.
It's good.
So sweet.
Thanks, guys.
Sweet.
Can we
Well,
play
yeah.
another round of the game?
Yeah, we can play another round of the game.
The game.
So this is Ensemble Exam Round 2.
Ensemble exam.
AKA
Round 2.
Rond 2.
AKA Rond 2.
And the reason it's called Rond 2 is because
They all are L. Ron Hubbard movies.
very close.
Oh, wow.
All 6 of them feature Ron Perlman.
Wait, so is he going to be a part of the 6 cast members?
Yeah,
or is
he's the first one I'm going to say for every single one.
Let's
and
go.
it won't get old.
Can I bong in now and guess
No.
and have one of the movies?
No.
Why?
No.
That's so much fun.
Well, because there are only so many Ron Perlman movies, like, you're bound to get... I chose popular ones so people would know.
Can I write one on my hand and then we do the thing and then if I show it to you, I get 2 extra points at the end?
Okay,
not-
everybody take a post-it note. I have post-it notes and pens. Everybody... What? That's unfair. Everybody... You do have the least amount of points, though, so maybe it is.
Hey!
Everybody
you.
write one Ron Perlman movie you think I might have included. Whoops.
I'm not even 100%
I only know like
sure.
1,
Yeah.
maybe 2.
And if it ends up being one of the 6 movies that I've selected, then you get an extra 2 points.
Yeah! Yeah! We should also whisper our guesses into the microphone.
That's
Maybe don't. Editor's note. Please
There's
don't.
one.
all right. Okay,
Hang on,
cool.
wait. Can I make sure that Ron Perlman is in the movie I picked?
No. What? No.
No. Because then you might see the other movies and get a better idea. This is round 2.
Round 2.
Now, points are tripled.
Trips.
+3 per correct answer, but still -2 per incorrect answer.
Okay.
Yes,
Question
Luke.
pertaining to the sticky note rule.
Yes.
Even if nobody gets it or if we get it wrong, if we still wrote down the movie, do we get points?
If
What?
So
You-
if I
at the
incorrectly
end of-
guess,
If you incorrectly get, well, either, yeah, the post-it notes are separate.
Okay.
You'll get points for the post-it notes no matter what.
sweet.
So, first one, Ron Perlman, Freddie Highmore, Seth Rogen, Nick Nolte, David Strathairn, and Martin Short.
Bling.
Bling.
Is it Spiderwick Chronicles?
It's Spiderwick Chronicles.
Oh my gosh.
It was Nick Nolte that got it.
Really?
Not Freddie
I
Highmore.
forgot
No.
that existed.
I almost went Freddie Highmore, David Strathairn.
That one I got it too quickly.
Sweet. Well done. You're still in the negative, but you're moving up. So, the number 2, Ron Perlman, Christoph Waltz, Tilda Swinton, Kate Blanchett, John Turturro, Finn Wolfhard.
Oh, repeat it one more time.
Ron Perlman, Christoph Waltz, apologies for the pronunciation earlier, Tilda Swinton, Kate Blanchett, John Turturro, and Finn Wolfhard.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Thank you for
Yeah.
answering in the form of a
I
Bing.
haven't seen that yet.
Forgot about
+3
the
for
yeah.
And Tom Kenny plays Benito Mussolini.
Same.
Yeah. Number
It's a
3,
vibe.
Ron Perlman. It's not going to get any less funny for me. Michael Chiklis, Meryl Streep, Jonah Hill, Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh.
Bing.
Yep.
Don't Look Up.
Correct.
Oof.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh.
Number 4, Ron Perlman, Seth MacFarlane, Jeffrey Tambor, Selma Blair, Doug Jones, and John Hurt.
Bing.
Yep.
Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
That is correct.
Oh my
Because Seth
gosh.
MacFarlane
Seth
played the
MacFarlane's
mist guy.
Yeah.
This probably doesn't count.
That counts.
Yay!
I'll count it.
No,
I'll
it
count
doesn't.
it. I'll count it.
I just wrote Hellboy on my sticky note.
Oh, but yeah, I'll count it.
But that's a different movie.
I'll count it.
No, that's
Yay!
I'm the guy.
Ben says it counts.
he's
I'm
not
the
the
dude.
guy.
He's not the
am-
guy.
Oops.
Elijah Wood is the guy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Number 5. Number 5. Ron Perlman, Stanley Tucci, Nathan Fillion, Yvette Nicole Brown, Alexandra Daddario, and Logan Lerman.
Bing.
Wait.
Luke.
Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief?
Incorrect.
Bing.
Yeah,
Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters.
that is correct.
Ron Perlman was in that? Who
Yeah.
did Ron Perlman play?
I don't know.
Oh, he played the Cyclops.
Oh, did he?
Wait,
I'm
seriously?
pretty sure he played the Cyclops.
It
Not,
was
not
so
the
bad.
guy, not the
Awesome.
friend Cyclops. The
No, yeah.
big boy
the big
Cyclops.
one.
I only saw Sea
Big
of Monsters
boy.
once
Me too.
in theaters, and then I never saw it again.
I saw it
Right, but I
on a
know
road
Nathan
trip.
Fillion played Hermes, which is perfect
I
casting.
saw
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
Percy Jackson films in theaters, and the second one I deeply regret. So
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
not a fan
Yeah.
of the second one. I did
No.
watch the first one in theaters, which
Yeah.
was fun. It was on Grant's birthday, my brother, but he was sick, so he didn't go, and I did.
Everybody else with this.
That was sad. Last one for this round. Ron Perlman, Diego Luna, Channing Tatum, Zoe Saldana, Christina Applegate, and Eugenio Derbez.
Quick shout
Christina
out to
Applegate.
Christina Applegate.
My post-it note
She's
guess
killing
was
it.
wrong. this is the last one, right?
Yeah, this is the last one.
Yeah, I didn't get my post-it note. Say it again.
Ron
Ron
Perlman,
Perlman.
Diego Luna, Channing Tatum, Zoe Saldana, Christina Applegate, and Eugenio Derbez.
Say them
give-
again.
Okay. After this one, and if nobody has anything, I'll give a little hint. Ron Perlman,
Right.
Diego Luna,
Okay.
Channing Tatum, Zoe Saldana, Christina Applegate, and Eugenio Derbez.
I have a guess. Say them again.
Would you like to get the hint?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this movie is not Coco.
Oh.
Bing.
Yeah.
Book of Life, babe.
Yeah. the Book of Life.
Christina Applegate.
Yeah, Christina.
She plays the
shout out to
book.
Christina.
And Channing Tatum plays life.
Plays life. And he-
Okay.
She is of him.
Channing Tatum is love. Channing Tatum is life.
All right, my
Agreed.
guess was wrong.
What was
you
your
write?
guess?
I guess Pacific Rim.
Oh, I tried to minimize Guillermo del Toro movies.
Right.
The only one I could come up with was City of Lost Children.
Oh, dang.
Couldn't
Yeah,
really
we have to
remember
watch
any
that.
other films he was in except that one.
And then Luke technically gets a point.
I don't need this from you right now.
Oh.
The game master said it counts.
got
I
it
am
right.
the game master, and it counts.
It shouldn't.
They're gonna fight, and
No,
I'm gonna
because
sip
there
my
are
tea.
2 movies called Hellboy, and neither of them were the movie he was talking about.
You can debate it all you want, but I'm the guy with the thing.
Is he still in the negative?
Yeah, I think I'm still in the
Yeah,
negative.
Luke
so it
is
doesn't
still in the
even-
negative.
It doesn't
So
even matter.
chill.
So
I'm
I'm
more
shut
in
up.
the
where you
negative.
are. No, well, I won't say anything. So let's move on to our second pitch of the day, which is
Is that me?
August.
Oh, it's me.
Augustus.
Mine starts sad, but doesn't continue being sad. Thank you very much.
Hey.
All right. We find Bill, a middle-aged, semi-handsome man in a suit at his wife's funeral. The only people there are him and her family. His family couldn't make it out, and he and his wife never had kids. They both had different genetic issues that they didn't want to pass down. Bill gives her eulogy, mentioning how much they loved each other, how sad they were that they shouldn't have children, and how he loved her strange but adorable affinity for cartoons. After the funeral, Bill goes home and breaks down in his kitchen alone. While crying, he starts coughing a deep, retching cough, coughing up blood. This is a good time to point out this is a live-action film. It is not a cartoon.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. A couple days later, after the blood coughing continues, Bill goes to his doctor. The doctor runs a few tests on him and concludes that he has somehow developed the genetic issues that killed his wife. But the doctor continues, Bill's own genetic issues have combined and morphed with his wife's, creating a whole new disease which, if gone untreated, is fatal. But luckily, they do have a cure for it. Bill asks what the disease is. His doctor tells him it's called Vivera mutantur. That's Latin, I don't know how to pronounce it. Or cartoonitis, as it is most commonly called. For the weeks leading up to his death, Bill will sporadically turn into different cartoon characters. But they do have a cure, the doctor reassures Bill. Bill says he doesn't want the cure. He doesn't want a life without his wife, and he can't think of a better way to die than turning into cartoon characters. The doctor says that is stupid. No one wants to die. But Bill says no one can live forever. Bill leaves and goes to a park, sits in a bench, and waits for his first transformation. He looks around the park, actually able to take in this fleeting world for the first time. It's such a beautiful day. He admires the clouds and planes in the sky. Then, pop! Bill turns into Bambi. Bill is surprised, but not upset. He prances around for a while, even leaving the city and heading to the forest surrounding it. As he prances around, he hears a crack, a subtle crack, like a boot on a twig. He turns and sees a down-home country boy, clad in camo and safety orange with a rifle aimed at Bill's head.
Oh my gosh.
Bill leaps deeper into the forest, a bullet whizzing past his head. Bill dashes through the trees and brush, bullets flying by him and boot steps clampering loudly through the trees. Bill spends days in the woods, hiding from Dixon, the man hunting him. Dixon even learns that Bill is a sentient being, but he doesn't really care. He just thinks a cartoon deer head would look cool above his mantelpiece. After a few days, Dixon finally gets the jump on Bill. As Dixon stands over him, a rifle planted firmly into Bill's head. Pop! Bill turns into Mickey Mouse. Dixon lets Bill go since he doesn't want to murder no Disney mouse. Bill then spends the next week or so working at children's birthday parties until, during one, he turns into Popeye and scares all of the children with his unusually large forearms. Bill then goes back to his job as a middle school teacher. Where he is assigned to coach a ragtag girls field hockey team. He spends the next few weeks, in the middle of which he turns into Johnny Bravo, leading these outsider misfits to the state championships, during which he is ejected from the championship because he turns into Stewie Griffin. And according to the district rules, British people aren't allowed. They also threw out Malcolm McDowell, who was wearing a cowboy hat and cheering for the Tigers.
Is that true? In terms of, like...
That
game
girls' field
legislation?
hockey doesn't allow British people?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
That would be a great rule though. They also throw out Malcolm McDowell, who was wearing a cowboy hat and cheering for the Tigers. After trying to renew his car's registration and failing because they didn't believe that this cartoon British baby was Bill, Bill turns into the hey, did you just blow in from Stupid Town fish from SpongeBob? Bill spends the next few days not getting into anything really, just chilling and enjoying these beautiful days ahead of him. Then he morphs into a simplistic black outline cartoon character. Bill goes to his regular checkup with his doctor, who is incredibly confused. Usually, after the hey, did you just blow in from Stupid Town fish from SpongeBob, the patient dies. Why didn't Bill die? Why is he this simplistic cartoon character? The only thing his doctor can figure out is that Bill has finally become his own character, but death is still inevitable. Then we have the last 5 minutes.
Wow.
So he doesn't die. He continues living on for the rest of eternity.
That's awesome. Playing with the format of this stick figure cartoon against the photos.
Cartoons in real world.
Saying that it's live action initially.
Yeah, so that's my pitch.
That's great. I
cool.
love that.
Forearms.
Because of Popeye's unnaturally large forearms.
I would be scared too.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
If I saw a cartoon deer, I'd hunt him.
I would. Well,
Isn't baby a girl? You would hunt her.
I would be friends with
female
Bambi.
baby deer.
Come on.
I'd be like, what the hell is that? it's 2-dimensional.
It's running at 24 frames per second.
I love, that like doctors have records of people turning into the hey, you just blown stupid town fish, and then they would die immediately after.
I wrote that line and I was like, Ben's gonna like this line.
It's like the logic of medicine. It's that, nope, you don't have long. And
You just turned into the hey, did you just blow him from Stupid Town
that
fish?
character has
from
been
SpongeBob?
around for ages.
Just blown from Stupid Town.
But yeah, I like it.
That's great. It's the shortest pitch I've ever done by a large margin.
But it's still great.
No self-doubt. No self-doubt.
I'm going to fight you.
Round 3.
There it is. I was trying to remember how to do the gnome sound.
Round 3. This round is called Top Build Uncredited.
Top build on
Top build uncredited. For top build uncredited, it is +5 per correct answer.
Can I guess one?
Still, no.
Stop it.
What?
I know one.
How? I will
No,
neither confirm nor
no,
deny.
no.
Just say it.
No, what?
Just say it. I will neither confirm nor deny. Just say
no,
it.
I'm not gonna say it. Then they'll steal it.
That's a weird
Well,
time
then write it on
to
your
Oh my
post-it note, and
God.
I just want to see if you got it.
Okay, I'll write it on my post-it note real quick.
Okay. And it's gonna be
All right, I
the
just ate my
longest
phone.
episode.
Yeah, we're already at
45 minutes. And we have one more pitch and the plot of the movie left.
And yeah. Okay.
All right.
Ready for round 3? Okay. So top build uncredited. I will not name the top build person, but I'll name the rest of the other people in the cast.
Wait, so...
If it comes down to it where everybody's like pass or skip, I'll name the top build and maybe it'll help.
But the point is that the top build is uncredited.
No.
Oh, I'm so
The
confused
top
about the name.
build in the movie, the top build is credited. I'm not going to name the top build person. As in, I'm not crediting them.
I thought it was one of the people who should be top build but was uncredited.
And the discussion.
Oh, no.
That's all I can
Yeah,
think.
That would be that would be very obscure.
Right, but like, I was like, or one of the top build people who went uncredited. Okay.
But you understand how this
I
is gonna
understand
work.
what you
Okay,
mean,
okay,
but
okay.
my guess doesn't apply anymore.
Well, I'm excited to hear it once this round is done. Okay. First movie. Bob Odenkirk, Laura Dern, Meryl Streep, Chris Cooper, Florence Pugh,
Bing. Little Women.
Little Women,
Nice.
Emma Watson, and Saoirse Ronan. That's +5 to Luke.
I heard Bob Odenkirk, and I just heard him go, "My Little Women."
Of all things in that movie, and that's what you remember.
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk comes home. It's Christmas, and it's amazing, and he hugs his family. It's beautiful.
I still haven't seen it.
My Little Women.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
yes.
Put away
I'm
Walter
so sorry.
White.
I have it on Blu-ray. I
Nobody
bring
is
it by
gonna
next
come
time.
near
Yes,
my
please
Little
do.
Women.
You borrow it
It's
and
happening.
See
enjoy
nobody.
it.
Nobody's pretty good.
It's happening again. Me and Hannah are having a conversation while you two are having a
We're
conversation.
having beef, man.
It keeps happening and it's hard to listen to.
I will
and I
let
are
you
just
just rewind and then... We've
Right,
been having a
it
good
gives
time.
it replayability.
Exactly. Okay.
Like the Lego games.
Movie number 2. This might be a little difficult, but we'll see. Ed Harris, Alan Arkin, Jack Lemmon, Jonathan Pryce, Alec Baldwin, Bruce Altman.
Oh, I have a guess. I'm not going to say it, though. Wait, how
Are you
many?
sure?
How
It's
many?
-2.
Bing.
It's in your best
Is
interest.
it Glengarry Glen Ross?
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
Top
There you
billed Al
go.
Pacino. Always be closing. Number 3. John Bernthal, Flea, John Hamm, Lily James, Jamie Foxx.
Bing.
Bing. Crap.
Is that August?
That was August.
Baby Driver.
Yep. Top
Nice.
billed Ansel Elgort. Boom, boom, boom.
That's right, baby.
Add these real quick. Okay, moving on. Ricky Gervais, Paul Rudd, Steve Coogan, Rami Malek, Mickey
Bing.
Rooney. August.
Night at the Museum.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you said Mickey Rooney because I wouldn't have gotten it. I would have guessed. I might have guessed the other one.
Lakeith Stanfield, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Michael Shannon,
Bing.
Luke.
Knives Out.
Knives Out.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was a crazy one, and you know it.
Ryan Johnson's favorite.
Top bill Daniel Craig.
Okay.
And then Chris Evans, then Ana de Armas.
Mm.
Eileen Brennan, Madeline Kahn, Martin Mull, Leslie Ann Warren, Colleen Camp, and Lee Ving.
I know none of those people.
I got nothing.
Everybody passed?
I'm passing.
Top billed is Tim Curry.
Wait. Okay, repeat. Repeat everything.
Eileen Brennan, Madeline Kahn, Martin Mull, Leslie Ann Warren, Colleen Camp, Lee Ving. Top billed is Tim Curry.
Oh, I want to guess, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I have two. Yeah, I'm not going to.
I have a guess, but I don't want to lose points.
I've got two in my head.
So
Second
I'm-
billed, Christopher Lloyd.
Bing.
August.
Clue.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was either Clue or It. Because I know none of those other people.
They're all just the people in the movie.
Right. But like,
Madeline Kahn.
it's two movies with big casts that I
Community
don't know
cast?
any of the names. So I was like, besides Tim Curry.
Gotcha. Okie dokie. Moving on from there. On to our third pitch of the episode.
Third.
howdy.
Yeah.
It's
Howdy.
me.
It's Annie. Annie?
Annie.
Tis I.
Howdy.
Annie.
All right. Bill is an ordinary stockbroker living in the city. You can probably tell I got stockbroker from. Yeah. That's not a coincidence.
He's hiding out.
Not at all.
Oh, last week's movie. I
Yeah.
blanked. I can't remember most of
He's just
my
looking
life.
around like, huh?
What?
What is stockbroker? Did
All
I
right.
miss something in the news?
John Cryer.
Stockbroker.
Oh, yes.
His life goes a little something like this. Wake up, eat a bowl of oatmeal while watching the news, brush his teeth with overly minty toothpaste, wear the same outfit he always wears, gets on the subway, stares at the advertisement for the overly minty toothpaste, goes to his 9-to-5 at his cubicle job where the business is just big enough that nobody knows what anybody else is doing. He takes the subway home, meatloaf and mashed potatoes in front of a flashing television screen, shower the day away, and crawl into bed. It's a rather beige life for Bill. Nothing out of the ordinary, but not bleak either. That is until one day, Bill decides to walk home after work. He buys a hot dog from the street vendor, greets a dog on his way home, and just when he thinks, well, maybe I ought to take more chances in life, a grand piano from above falls and squishes him against the concrete.
Aw.
He thinks, ugh, what a way to go out. Such a cliche. Wait a minute, how am I thinking still? Aren't I dead? Bill wakes up to find himself back in his apartment, as if he never died in the first place. But while watching the morning news, he meets God for the first time. A little girl in overalls with a beanie, lace-up tennis shoes, and a gap in her teeth. She's pretending to be a telecaster, mocking Bill out of amusement. She crawls out of the television screen a little Ringu style, and Bill yelps continuously in fear. The little girl's name in this universe is Anna Bothalor, self-titled. But she just goes by Anna for short.
Wait, this is still God, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Anna
cool.
Bothalor.
Our version of our version. of
Hashtag
that.
that's my God. Okay.
Yeah. She tells Bill she was playing with her toys one day and accidentally created this universe, our universe. A lot of it was influenced by her parents, who constantly bickered over the state of the world above. Bill, with a newfound desire to explore and a deep wish to see more out of life, asks if he can visit the world above. Anna says no, that he really wouldn't want to anyway. Trust me, she's immortal. She would know. But Bill begs for an opportunity to see more of what being alive really has to offer now that he seems to have a second chance. So Anna finally gives in and gives him the grunt work. Bill's new job is no longer hiding behind a cubicle. Nope. He has to deliver the bad news that someone's going to die. He's a sort of Grim Reaper if the Grim Reaper were an ordinary dude named Bill. He hates his job, having to lead these poor souls back to Anna, the small practical joker, threatening to torture them with pranks for the rest of time. But the buck stops when an innocent child is assigned as his next client. Oh. Bill is outraged. Why would Anna create a world where terrible things would happen? He confronts her, not wanting to do her dirty work any longer. Anna explains that in the world above, her little brother got sick and died suddenly. Thus, the pain manifested in the universe she created and caused horrible events to take place. But she has no idea how to control it, and honestly isn't sure that she'd want to if she did. All Anna wants is to return back home. She's tired of playing. Bill regrets not doing more with his life while he had one. It wasn't a lot, but at least it was his. It's then that Bill proposes a deal with Anna. To take her place and become immortal, to watch over this world that he's learning to love despite its faults to the best of his ability. She says taking her position might kill him. Again. He doesn't care. He has to take the risk. She says he may be alone. Well, he's always been alone, so what will it hurt to stay that way? She doesn't think it will work, but it does. With a flash of light, Anna is sent home, freed from the folly of her mind. It nearly kills him, but Bill becomes watcher over this universe. That leads us to the final 5 minutes of the movie, where we quickly learn that he cannot die like he did the first time, but he also cannot join Anna once our world is gone, and everything there is to know and experience has long disappeared. He got his wish, but at what cost?
Wow. That was great.
Well, we all went pretty philosophical this week.
I was about to say,
yeah. Yeah, this movie.
this movie kind of calls for it. That was great. That was really great.
Thank you.
That was great.
You guys are making it tough on me.
So you haven't seen the show Dead Like Me?
I've seen Dead to Me,
But not Dead
with
Like Me?
Christina Applegate.
Hey, shout out
Coincidentally,
to Christina Applegate.
No, it's the guy who created Pushing Daisies. Dead Like Me.
it's on
It's got, I think it's got Inigo Montoya in it. It's great.
Oh,
It's got a terrible movie, but it's a good show.
interesting.
You should watch it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Cool.
Cool.
Are we going to do points and then watch movie? Or-
Yes, we have one final round.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
One final round more like final question. It's gonna run similar to a final round in another game show that we will not name for legal reasons,
Wheel
but involves
of
wagering
money.
points and then writing. Money, give me tweez. Where that's where the post-it notes and the pens come into play. You're going to.
I
Oh,
crumpled my
no.
post-it note up. I'm so sorry, Ben.
Well,
Ben, I'm so sorry.
uncrumple that post-it note. I will read off.
my
the
guess
score.
from last round was Happy Gilmore.
Ben Stiller.
Ben Still, because he's uncredited
gotcha.
in that movie.
Yeah. Would have been a good one if I had more movies like that.
I don't think there are more movies
I
like
don't
that.
think there are. So the amount of points we have: Hannah has 3 points,
3,
Luke has 6 points,
6.
and August has 24 points.
Good lord.
Damn,
Wow.
dude.
And so instead of would we like to wager, or would we like to do, if you get it right, you get 10 points. If you get it wrong, you get minus 10 points.
Just add 10 points or take away 10.
Okay, cool.
I think.
Because I think, there's
Yeah.
like no, unless
It's gonna
August
take
bets
longer if
18
we-
points. There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's one movie, and I'm just gonna list the people in it, and then, first write down there are no wagers. Well, I'm just gonna start listing, and you guys write down whenever you feel comfortable.
And this isn't a first to get it right situation.
No,
this
it's
is
just write it down.
like
So
a
we're-
Final Jeopardy kind of thing. If that's
Hey, you can't.
right.
Hey, can we bleep that?
Okay, so I just realized what you were talking about.
So we're writing down our answers and then we're just moving on to the next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Oh wait,
Okay.
are we doing this for all 6 movies though?
It's one movie.
Oh gosh, I was listening and then I forgot everything you said.
Okay. I listed them in alphabetical order so you don't know top billed or whatever. Elizabeth Banks, Kristen Bell, Halle Berry, Leslie Bibb, Kate Bosworth, Gerard Butler, Bobby Cannavale, Common, Karen Culkin, Josh Duhamel, Anna Faris, Katie Finneran, Richard Gere, Terrence Howard, Hugh Jackman, Greg Kinnear, Johnny Knoxville, Emily Allen Lind, Justin Long, Seth MacFarlane, Jack Breyer, Stephen Merchant, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Chloe Grace Moretz, Chris Pratt, Dennis Quaid, Will Sasso, Liev Schreiber, Sean William Scott, Emma Stone, Jason Sudeikis, Uma Thurman, Patrick Warburton, Naomi Watts, Jeremy Allen White, and Kate Winslet.
That's one movie?
One movie.
Good Lord.
One movie.
And if this is what I think it is.
Well, I know you know what it is, because you gave a big sigh after the first person, that one person I mentioned.
I don't even think I've seen this movie, but I think I know what it is.
I don't think I know at all.
And you know what? That's good.
Honestly, yeah, that's for the best. Would we like me to read through the list of names?
No.
No,
I'm
just hit us with it.
Okay, August, what answer did you put down?
I put down movie 43.
Luke, what answer did you put down?
Movie 43.
Hannah, what answer did you put down?
Nothing, because I don't know what the hell movie 43 is.
Good.
The correct answer is movie 43.
Yay!
What is this movie, and why are there so many people in it?
Movie 43 is a collection of really, really bad shorts. It's like a movie with a bunch of really bad shorts, and they got a bunch of big name actors during their down periods.
Wait, was this the one that I saw an advertisement for where like Chloe Grace Moretz gets her period or
period.
something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. It's that humor for like an hour and a half.
Oh God.
And
All right.
in the American version, it's a guy pitching a bunch of these movies.
Right.
In the British version, or like the foreign version, isn't it
There's
like a
two?
goblin or a troll or something?
It's okay.
Oh, I like
so
that version a little
there's a brother, and there are two brothers.
Right.
And
Two brothers.
one of them tries to open up a lot of like inappropriate adult internet links on the other brother's computer, so it would give him like a big computer virus and it would destroy his laptop or whatever. And so in searching through the deep web to find movie 43, or I think the younger brother's trying to find movie 43, and so in the quest to find movie 43, he looks through a bunch of these terrible shorts, and that's what we cut to back and forth.
Okay.
And the movie ends with like the apocalypse because they found movie 43, and it's like all dusty and stuff. Terrible movie.
That's dumb.
But it holds a special nostalgic place in my heart because I've seen clips of it, like the Emma Stone segment with Kieran Culkin and the Hugh Jackman's testicle jaw or whatever.
Oh.
There are so many terrible bits in there that you just can't erase from your brain. But yeah, that being said, that concludes our game. Woo. August walks away with 34 points.
There you go.
Luke walks
30,
away with
34?
16 points.
16 points.
And Hannah got 0 points. I'll say 0. I won't go negative because that wouldn't really make sense.
That's fine.
And
I can live with that.
That being said, we're gonna move on to watching the movie.
Well, points.
Oh, right. Yeah. So points wise, this is very tough. I think
It was me.
I
think I got it.
August.
I got it.
I hate to burst your bubble.
My
I'm gonna
bubble is
give
unburstable.
most accurate.
I'm not winning it.
Probably. It's tough because each of you had like pretty decent parts of it.
Mine did have Popeye's forearms.
That's true. Did you take into consideration Popeye's forearm?
Did you
I'm gonna
consider
say-
Popeye's forearms?
I'm gonna say maybe not in terms of plot, but in terms of like aesthetic and the characters and what kind of happens. I'll give it to Hannah, and Hannah gets 10 anthropomorphic bananas,
Awesome.
I am a banana.
and I'll give favorite
My spoon
to Luke
is too big.
because he made
For
me
real?
tear up.
Oh.
And
Sorry.
for that, Luke will get a really big spoon.
Oh,
My spoon
is too big. My spoon is too big.
And now we'll watch the movie.
Now we're gonna watch.
Now
the
we're gonna
movie.
watch the movie.
We're quoting that because we think we know who created this movie. Also made a very famous YouTube short.
We'll get into that.
We'll get
into that. We'll get into
that.
All right.
So
See
you guys-
y'all.
We're gonna pause here.
See y'all.
See y'all.
We're back.
We're back.
Just watched the movie. I'm in shambles.
Me too.
Yeah, I think we all cried.
I didn't.
You
Am I the
didn't
only
cry?
one that didn't?
No, I kind of yeah, no.
You figured?
I kind of like I looked over at everybody at some point, which I generally hate. But yeah, I noticed that or I could hear August sniffling.
Yeah, I heard the sniffling.
Yeah.
I did.
That was
I
mostly
did.
because my nose is stopped up.
Oh, uh-huh.
Mostly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Allergy season.
Allergy season.
But yeah,
This is quite the ride.
one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
This is going to be so jarring for the audience to go from such high energy to no energy.
All of us broken down.
I need a drink. I don't know about anybody else. I need a
Same.
fat glass of red wine.
Same.
Jeez.
But I think that's kind of entertaining.
Sure.
Okay, let's go on to our next pitch, and then we're back.
Hey guys.
I would love to learn more about this movie, Ben.
Yeah, I'll give you a little history about the making of, and then we can kind of just talk about what we took from it.
I'm going to lay on my back while you talk about this movie.
Go for it. It's Such a Beautiful Day is a 2012 American experimental animated film directed, written, animated, photographed, and produced by Don Hertzfeldt, which this is his first feature film. It's divided into 3 chapters, which were originally released separately in theaters as animated shorts over several years. In 2006, the first part, Everything Will Be Okay, received the grand prize at Sundance. In 2008, the second part, I Am So Proud of You, was released. And lastly, in 2011, the third part, It's Such a Beautiful Day, to finish it out. And then altogether, all the films received over 90 film festival awards. And in 2012, Hertzfeldt decided to edit them together seamlessly into his first feature. It's received a ton of accolades over the last decade and earned its place at the top of several best animated films of all time, including my top 10 best films of all time. So that's how you know it's prestigious. Story-wise, it tells a story of a character named Bill who struggles with his failing memory and surreal visions, among other symptoms of an unknown neurological problem. It bounces between offbeat humor of everyday life and serious philosophical musings. So this thing's 6 years in the making. The completed picture was captured entirely on in camera on a 35 millimeter rostrum animation stand built in the 1940s, and it was one of the last surviving cameras of its kind, still operating worldwide. Wow. So yeah, everything was done in camera with all the split screen and all the different effects.
That's
and
crazy.
Then the editing process was like a whole other ordeal, trying to overlay everything animated over the live action stuff.
There's some intense special effects happening.
Yeah.
Especially when Bill is going into these manic episodes of his disease and...
Mm-hmm. And it's sort of, they grow and then they stop for a second and then they'll keep growing through the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. And so it combines traditional hand-drawn animation, experimental optical effects, trick photography, and digital hybrids that were printed for photography 1 frame at a time. Towards the end of the production of the final chapter, the old camera's motor began to fail, so it could no longer advance the film properly, riddling the final reels with unintentional light leaks. So if you noticed some flashing towards the end, a lot of that was just because the camera began to fail.
That was
towards the end of
unintentional?
Which, that's isn't that so beautiful?
That fits so perfectly.
Hertzfeldt, some things about Hertzfeldt. He graduated from UC Santa Barbara in 98, and his work commonly features hand-drawn stick figures and stories of black humor, surrealism, and tragic comedy. His final student cartoon, which you may have seen called Billy's Balloon, was nominated for the short film Palme d'Or at Cannes. And in 2000, Hertzfeldt released Rejected, one of his more well-known works, which is a reel of rejected commercial work by a fictional version of Hertzfeldt. As they grow more and more abstract and inappropriate,
My spoon is too big.
it starts with that, and then it devolves into, life is good! My anus is bleeding! Then he drowns in his own butt blood. And a baby is like, oh, he's taking his first steps. And then he trips down a flight of stairs. More abstract and inappropriate as the animator suffers a mental breakdown until they literally fall apart. It's now considered a cult classic, one of the most influential animated shorts of all time. And more recently, he created a 2-minute couch gag for The Simpsons? And it was referred to, deleted it, but it's referred to as one of the most surreal 2 minutes ever on primetime television.
Is it the future one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've
it was
seen
the
that.
season premiere of one of the later seasons. but he created 3 episodes or 3 chapters of World of Tomorrow, which I've yet to see, but it's already generated a ton of acclaim. Yeah, that just covers like the history and some stuff about Hertzfeld, but the story uncovers a lot about mundane life and this cute little guy who's just like us, even though we don't have the same condition as him because they never really name it and we wouldn't know. We're tethered up in his failing memories until his own misinterpretation of the past and future fall apart. And I was left to think about my own life up until this point. And like, we're all still young, but thinking forward to look back, it's so cool to think about what will we remember or misremember? What if we perceive things in the past compared to what they actually were? But yeah, it's cool to think about the scope of our own memory as Bill's memories shrunk and shrunk, but he only like paid attention to the specific details in the last few years. And so that when I first watched this, I thought about how like either our minds will go first or our bodies will go first in the event of death, and how Bill's case was his mind left, and then it opened up this interesting transformation from that iconic black and white pencil drawn cartoon imagery to the colorful photography behind it. And it's like when his mind goes, he makes a stronger attempt to identify the details, like that little clip of him with his bath mat and noticing how like gorgeous the little like dust flecks and everything is in his mundane life. And so in the last 5 minutes, I like to think that because his mind goes before his body, he's able to experience death in a way that someone whose body goes first would not. Like there's no waiting or anticipation of death. It's just life and enjoying things and making sure you're keeping track of everything. And so it's almost like, since he won't be aware of his own physical death, he feels immortal, if that makes sense. Like he's able to just live on until anything happens. So a starter question, a little light topic of discussion. Would you like your mind to go first or your body to go first?
I'd like the world to go first.
Oh. Wasn't on the multiple choice, but if it's a right, and I'll take it.
I wrote in C, the world.
See, the world goes first.
My body. I already don't care about that shit. Like.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Actually,
that's valid.
I'd
That's
say
valid.
mind. Ignorance is bliss.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I think if my body went first, I'd be more frustrated. Whereas if my mind goes, I'm not going to know the difference.
I see
Does
that.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hate losing control of that and not knowing what's going on and not being myself, but at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily be in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'd say mind.
On one hand, I agree with that, but I think the more I think about it, I would like my body to go first, because there's too many people in my life to where if I get what you're saying of like if my mind went first, I wouldn't know the difference, but I feel like as I was slowly drifting away from those names and faces, I don't think I could live with myself. You know, I would like to communicate with the people I love most in a coherent fashion. So
I'd like to just remember everything. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Alzheimer's is like the worst possible outcome. Like just to forget everything makes everything worthless, and that just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather my body go first.
I'm really split.
Yeah.
Because it is like,
I can see both sides.
because like personally in the event of death, I would just like to not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
I already kind of don't worry about it, or at least I tell myself that to go to sleep at night. But yeah, like if my mind went, then it affects the people around me more than it affects me. Kind of like what Luke was saying. But yeah, both are not ideal. If we could live forever and float away into the cosmos, that would be pretty. That's also not a great outcome, but
Can I just ship my head to space?
yeah,
Ship my head to the moon like
it
Bill
turns into a
wants to?
balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
man, I cried several times.
Yeah.
I was
have-
like, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have that same feeling, a different feeling, but similar feeling to watching Everything Everywhere All at Once. a little.
Ironically, I have a googly eye in the center of my face.
Yeah.
Ironically.
A little less hopeful than when I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. But that same kind of existential feeling.
But it weirdly wasn't. This movie weirdly wasn't hopeless.
No.
Right.
Just
It's very. It's
it
one
makes
of the
no
most.
specific stance on hope.
It's a very observational movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of documentary, and then it's just like stating the facts of what's happening. But since it's through Bill's eyes, it's like we're not really sure what's happening, but here's what we're seeing.
And it kind of leaves the audience up for interpretation of how they want to take it and what they want to do with this feeling.
The note that his mom left him, I was like, the
See,
inside of my chest crumbled.
I started crying when he found the book of her practicing.
No, yeah, the first time I was like, teary-eyed, but I'm not going to let it faze me. But when it showed live action his ex-girlfriend, I was like,
Yeah.
That's what got me.
Yeah.
That's what got me the first.
and then the rest of the way, I was just like, okay, my right eye is just very leaky.
that yeah.
Yeah, a lot of moments of self-reflection in this movie. I don't know what else to say.
Thanks, Aaron, for doing the opening to the podcast.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron, so much. We'd like to plug the Instagram and our socials real quick. Follow us on Instagram at Nuclear Popcorn.
Nuclear popcorn on everything,
to
baby.
stay on track with our postings and our
Everything.
hints for our future episodes.
And join us next week where we'll be having a major change of pace watching Friend Request.
What's it available on?
It's available, I think it's called Fubo TV.
Fubo.
But you still have to rent it. It's also on Stars, I think. I rented it on YouTube.
Oh, I have stars. I could
Oh,
just lent you
rip.
that. Anyway,
Well,
Rippy.
thanks for listening.
yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening. Hug your grandma.
Watch this movie, essential viewing, and
Sleep tight. Double flush. Wash your hands.
yep. My name is Ben.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Luke.
And I'm August.
Thank you for listening to Nuclear Popcorn.
We'll see you next time.
So long and good night.
Bah.
Bye.
Bye.